The hat is on, that must mean it's Thursday, that must mean it's time for a comic review show. Hello everybody, Ghost Critic with another stack of weekly comics to go through. Let's kick off Fables 113. I never have anything bad to say about this title. I love Fables. Bill Willingham is an amazing writer. Even when he does these kind of digression issues where it kind of wanders off for the main storyline and he collaborates with a bunch of just fantastic artists and does these small like kind of vignette type stories which are like 3 or 4 pages long. They all have relevance though. If you're a long time reader of Fables, there are bits in here that you just go, oh, I wonder how that fits in. I mean, like say, we're over 100 issues long. Fables has got such an amazing history now, and long may it go on. There is some lovely artwork in here. Most of all, my favourite has to have been the last story with Adam Hughes' artwork. Hopefully you can just see that. It's just beautiful. Like I said, never anything bad to say about Fables. A great issue. Pick it up. Uncanny X-Force, issue 20. Help. Haven't a clue what's going on. Clearly this all kind of ties in with Captain Britain. I know he had a title not so long ago. Maybe this is kind of tied in this whole Otherworld thing. I haven't a clue about it, I'm afraid. But still, I really enjoyed it. I like kind of other dimensional worlds. There's a great deal in here because this is the story of the trial of Phantom X. I wasn't so sure what he was going to be put on trial for because he's done a lot of bad things in his time, but obviously this is to do with him killing the original boy Apocalypse. I still say, and I said this right when he put that gun between, you know, that bullet right between his eyes, that is a one of his illusions to make them all think he killed it. And this is, I think this is going to be his get out clause. I think the boy Apocalypse that we see here, the one they are now calling Genesis, is the original one. I could be wrong. It would be a nice twist. But at the moment, I'm a bit confused. Love the artwork. Ticini's artwork coupled with Dean White's colourings. It's just beautiful. Yes, it is freaky, it is bloody, it is gutsy, the double page there. Hopefully you can see that as well. I just love that. So I am well on board with the artwork. I like the painted kind of colouring effect on it, which is a surprise for me, to be honest. But yeah, I might not know what the hell is going on, but I like it. Oh hello, where have you been? Morning Glories, issue 20, finally. We get another instalment from the Morning Glories Academy, and you know, it was worth the wait. I should be fed up with these backstories. I think this could quite possibly be the last backup story, you know, one of the characters' backup stories, where they've come from, why they are where they are, why they are who they are. But Nick Spencer just draws you in. His use of character, I mean, just between Zoe and Hunter, their whole interactions when they get left alone, because we are still on this wood run, capturing flags everywhere, and, you know, there's some really sweet moments in here, and Nick Spencer kind of lulls you into a false sense of security. Yes, you know, Zoe has just like lays it down on the line to Hunter about his infatuation with the perfect girl. And it's coupled with, you know, he's just met this nice girl who actually has the same interests as him, but may not be, you know, typically good looking. But obviously they're a better pairing. And you have that sweet moment, then you have, you know, Zoe blasting him, and then the end scene, it's just like, Oh, no! Don't do that! Oh my God, you should be picking up Morning Glories. Do it now. Well, after you finish watching this video. Amazing Spider-Man issue 678, and you can all calm down. Ramos is back on art. You really didn't like Emma Rios' work, did you? Well anyway, Ramos is back doing what he does best, making Spidey just contort all over the place. Fantastic artwork as always by Ramos. The story, Dan Slott hits us again with a kind of future apocalyptic world that, you know, Spider-Man has to avert. It's kind of nick of time, kind of let's get everything done in certain order to stop this future maybe happening. But it was the kind of ordinary parts of the tale of this issue that really stood out more. Just right at the very beginning where, you know, Peter Parker wakes up, he's going to work, he would normally just, you know, strap on his Spidey outfit and right across town, but no, today he was just Peter Parker, and he took a walk through the city of New York to work, you know, like most of us do. And then the lovely two-page scene right at the beginning of him walking through town, seeing different people interacting. It was really, really nice. It was down to earth. It was really grounded and really makes, you know, the reader associate with Peter. It's not all about, you know, flying over skylines attached to a thin web. So yeah, that really, you know, made the issue for me. However, I do find it just astounding that, you know, Peter works in this kind of think tank of all these amazing geniuses, you know, forward-thinking people of all ages, and they haven't a clue that Peter Parker, despite, you know, the ludicrous situations he gets into, they don't realise he's Spider-Man. It does, of course, make for an amazing story. The second part is next issue. It's a two-parter. I'm really, really excited to see what Dan Slott has got for Spider-Man this year, given that it is his 50th year in the comic biz. Check it out. Oh, Batman #5, Mr. Snyder. Right, this is a great comic. It's undisputable, it's a great comic. However, the story is not exactly original. It's Batman, exhausted, drug deranged, trying to get through this maze. It's a story that's been regurgitated and regurgitated. So on the story alone, you know, it's a good story. Scott Snyder, you can't, you know, dismiss his work at all on this. But it is the artwork. You knew I was going to say this, didn't you? If you've already read this, Greg Capullo, oh my good lord, literally, you are turning this book all the way round as you're reading this. You are Batman, you are in this labyrinth. You don't know whether you're going left or right, up or down, backwards, forwards, but you're always ending up in the same place you started. Wow. It is a great comic, and of course, everyone's very stabby this week in comics, aren't they? See, this is what I say about you guys and your knives, and why you scare me when you do those unboxing videos. I'm telling you. There are some very nice touches at the start and the end with Gordon. You know, he's out there with the Batman signal. It's been days and days, but he's leaving it on. And it's not just there for Batman. It's there to, as a deterrent to the criminals. It's there for, you know, all the other, you know, the Bat family out there. We get some nice little panels of like the Bat family. So you've got Nightwing, you've got Damian, Batgirl's there, even Catwoman, and poor Alfred on his own in the Batcave. It is very touching, and even more so right at the very end with Damian, which does kind of, it makes it a little confusing for anyone who's reading Batman and Robin as well, because we obviously know the route that Damian's going down there, you know, the dark path with Nobody, the character Nobody, but it's a very, very touching kind of last few panels with Damian. Definitely a fantastic read, if a kind of overused storyline, a must pick up. Finally, it's issue 8 of Daredevil, and this wraps up the two-parter crossover with Spider-Man. It's Devil and the Details. Given that it's only a two-part story, I had my doubts about it. You know, this wasn't going to be anything, or I thought this wasn't going to be anything particularly overreaching story-wise. It wasn't going to affect anything. Two-part stories, you kind of feel, right, they set it up and they finish it off in the second issue. But Mark Waid just thinks so far ahead. I am so excited for this title. Again, I wish I could do spoilers, but I don't want to ruin this for you guys. But you know, it's the end panel. It's Foggy. Foggy gets the last page, but it's what he has uncovered, or rather not uncovered, that is pretty astounding. The artwork is lovely. It's got Kano and Rodriguez on art. And there's just some really fun characterizations with kind of Daredevil and Black Cat's relationship and their interactions with each other. And oh my god, is there any woman he won't sleep with unless they've got a costume on? Oh my god, Black Cat and Daredevil now. That's a recipe for disaster, surely. And obviously, if you've read this comic, we know the Black Cat has some ulterior motives. Honestly, I could not pick a pick of the week this week. They were all really, really good comics. They all had their own merits. So I'm just going to give it to all of them. If you picked up any of these comics, if you picked up all of them, what was your pick of the week? It might have been something that wasn't even on my pile. So that's it, guys. It's another week with me reviewing comics. Glad you came along. If this is your first time, as always, there's a subscribe button up there. There's some thumbs up buttons down there, and even below there's a big comment box for you to go and talk to me. Say anything about this video. I'm here all day. Anyway, if you're wondering what all this was going on behind me, then you clearly haven't watched my new video on Comic Community Central, so I will leave a link in the description for you to go and look at it straight after this. I bid you adieu. See you, folks.